Hey everybody, welcome to this video where I'm going to show you how to download MODIS imagery from EarthData. So the MODIS sensor is really cool. There's actually two of them, and they fly aboard two different spacecraft, one named Terra and one named Aqua, that focus respectively on land and water. And the coolest thing about the MODIS sensors is that they have 36 spectral bands. So they really try to do it all. The first two bands, one in the visible and one in the near infrared, are 250 meter resolution. The next 5 bands are 500 meter resolution, mostly in the near infrared. Beyond that, there's a number of bands that are 1 kilometer spatial resolution that go all the way out into the far infrared. And essentially, the MODIS sensors are able to act as a hyperspectral scanner, so collecting lots of bands at a relatively coarse spatial resolution for the study of oceans and other big scale processes. All right, so let's go find some MODIS data. We're going to go to this EarthData page. You can just search EarthData. You should land here. You will need to log in at some point. I'm already logged in, but at some point in this process, it's going to stop you and ask to log in. And you usually want to do that sooner rather than later, so you don't do a big search and then lose everything when you have a failed login. So I recommend finding the login button as soon as possible and creating an account. And then we're going to go to this EarthData search button. And so again, I'm already logged in. It may prompt you to log in, or it may be maybe a button up in here somewhere. Anyway, so we can search for lots of stuff in EarthData, and it's actually a little bit intimidating. You can look down here under instruments, platforms, so there's lots of data. The way we're actually going to do it today is kind of come in knowing what we're looking for. And as I tried to figure out MODIS, I found that was really helpful. I actually started out with this page from Yale, really nice overview of the MODIS sensor. And it kind of helps initiate you into all these different data products. There's like 50 different data products you can choose from. So you kind of need to know where you're going. And in particular, I'm interested in what kinds of MODIS data are available. And what we're going to go for today is actually the 250 meter surface reflectance data product. So you might remember only those first 2 bands were 250 meter resolution, one of them at 645, one at 858 nanometers. And the nice thing is it's already been converted from radiance into reflectance, so you won't need to do that. So I'm going to actually just copy this kind of serial number here and go back into EarthData and type it into this search box. Hit enter, and it'll bring up these various collections. This seems there's a little bit of replication or redundancy going on here. They all seem to be similar. I'm going to pick the global 250 meter data set that has the 2 million granules or 2 million images in it. That just seems like the biggest one to look in. So I'll click this plus sign. That's going to add it to my collection, so now all my searches are going to include images from that collection. And of course, you can add multiple collections and search them all at the same time from different satellites or different sensors. Okay, so next I'm going to go over and put on a couple of spatial constraints. And in this activity, we're actually downloading an image for the Amazon. And if you're in my class, please click along exactly and download this exact image, because we're going to use it in lab. So you actually will need this image as we start lab this week. So I'm zooming in kind of on the upper Amazon here, maybe 50 kilometers inland from the ocean. You can kind of find it by this kind of north-south oriented freshwater body here. And I'm going to specify a search area using this button here and then choosing rectangle. And it often pays to draw a fairly small rectangle. Otherwise you get too many hits. So I'm going to draw the rectangle like that. Maybe I'll move it up slightly. Okay, so that added in that as my search constraint. Next I'm going to add a calendar constraint here, or a time constraint. Again, after a couple hours of screwing around, I know exactly what I'm looking for here. So I'm going to go to 2019 January 1st and 2019 January 1st. So MODIS has been going for about 20 years. So if you don't restrict your time window, you're going to have a lot of data to choose from. In this case, I know we want an image of this place on January 1st, 2019. So I'm going to just hit apply. Now here's what's cool. At first I was like, where are the search results? But then I realized they're actually kind of always refreshed in real time. And in particular, so you have to click this little tab. This little tab opens and closes your kind of search results. And now it's showing me, okay, from this collection that I had previously added, it has found one image, okay? So now what I'm going to do is actually just click on this collection, or click on the icon here. So now it's like bringing me into this particular collection, showing me my results from this collection. If you had used multiple collections, you could just click go back to collections here and, you know, explore search results from other collections. But in this case, we're doing a very narrow search, and only one image has come up, which is great. That's what we wanted. If you want to see the footprint of the image, you can just left click once on this kind of tile, and hopefully, yep, so there it's showing us the footprint of the image. Also, I haven't mastered this slider bar, but this slider bar allows you to pretty easily scroll through time and quickly see a lot of previews from different from the same location at different times. But anyway, again, because we're keeping it tight here, if you are logged in, you should definitely see this download button. And we're just going to download that single image. It's going to prompt us for where to save. So again, if you're in my class, you should have set up a Lab 4 folder somewhere on your desktop, not on the network. For me, it's going to be in here. I've got my MODIS folder, and I'll just hit save. Actually, one tip for MODIS: if you're doing a lot of different MODIS stuff, you may want to like create folders that are labeled with like which data product it is. So here I created a folder labeled like MODIS and then reflectance as opposed to radiance or something else. And then I even created a new folder with the date, so that, because note, I don't believe the dates are not very clearly encoded in the title. I'm sure they are, but I can't figure it out. So just for clarity, so you don't lose track of what the image is, I recommend creating a folder with the date as well. Go in there, download it. In this case, it's already there, so I don't need to save it, but save it there. And then in the next video, I'm going to show you how to use HEG tools to unpack this and convert it into a GeoTIFF. Thanks for listening.